studies. He has 22 years of versatile experience of having practical knowledge in industries as well as in academics. And he has been as a mentor, teacher, trainer, consultant, and author, has contributed a lot to Six Sigma, and is very passionate to contribute to quality improvements in products and processes in manufacturing as well as service organizations. So I welcome him again, and please listen to him carefully, students, and ask just questions as much as you want. Fine, thank you. Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, please.
So, good morning, students.
Good morning, sir.
Just beta, I am sharing my screen. So is it visible to you?
Yeah, it is visible. It is visible.
So the topic is Six Sigma approach to quality. Before getting into details of quality and Six Sigma, there are two things which I wanted to share because I have divided this session into three parts. If I straightforward start Six Sigma, you may not able to grasp. So we will discuss quickly what is quality. Then we will have a look at a concept of variability, and then we will switch over to the Six Sigma. So let's discuss what's the need for quality. What is the need for improvement? So, this slide carefully dictates what is the need for improvement. If we talk of improvement, if we talk of quality in our day-to-day activities, then what is need for that? You can see this is the need for quality, that every morning in Africa, a deer wakes up, it knows it must run faster than the fastest lion or it will be killed. The same is the case with the lion. It knows that it must outrun the slowest deer or it will strive to death. So what I mean to say that quality is significant if you are a lion or if you are a deer. When the sun comes, it's better that both should run fast. The quality is nowadays, it is not a luxury, it is a must for our survival. You are nowadays seeing this post-COVID scenario that cost should be reduced, quality should be high, and the service time should be minimum. So this is the need for the day. If you correlate it into the current scenario, then this is the requirement of current scenario. Students, you are already being a customer. I give you a very day-to-day example. When you are going to purchase mobile, you are asking for quality. You are asking for low price. You are asking for service time or delivery time. These are the customer requirements. Now, being an engineer, just put yourself into the manufacturer shoe. When customer require quality, you have to work on the quality. Quality means you have to work on the low defects. You have to work on the low cost. Then only you can have the profit and you can reduce your time. So these are the manufacturer challenges. So any strategy which is covering these three things, if any strategy is working on reducing the cost, if any strategy is working on reducing the cycle time, if any strategy is working on reducing the defect, that means that is very, very much desirable. So the Six Sigma is working on all these three things. It is working on reducing defects. It is working on reducing cost. It is working on reducing cycle time. Let's see how. So we will quickly discuss what is quality, what are the dimensions of quality, and what is quality and variability. So I'm just sharing a small video for you people. Is it audible to all of you now?
No, sir.
The video was audible and it is on the screen now, beta.
Sir, video not audible.
एक मिनट.
Not audible, sir.
Audible now.
No, sir.
So, dear students, this slide was presentation was just to embrace the significance of quality. That when we talk about quality, a small error may cost a lot to us. So this was my just submission on the quality. Now, when we talk about quality, there are various dimensions of quality. So these are just various dimension. I am quickly going through. We talk about, if I take examples of cars, we talk about performance, we talk about cost, we talk about conformance, we talk about features, we talk about reliability, serviceability, aesthetics, and of course the brand value. So you may be aware of all these things. These are just basics of quality. Actually, the time is less. The topic is Six Sigma. So I'm quickly going through the quality. If you have any questions, you may discuss. You may discuss this right now also regarding quality. So there are various levels of quality. When I talk about quality, now why I'm showing this slide to you? This is very significant as per Six Sigma is concerned. When we are talking about Six Sigma methodologies, we are working on the higher levels of quality. So before getting into details of Six Sigma, I had a small exercise for you on variability, because it is very significant to understand the meaning of variability. The moment you understood the meaning of quality, the moment you understood the meaning of variability, if these things, if these two topics are clear to you, what is quality and what is variability, then you can go to this journey of excellence, which is Six Sigma. Just quickly go through this slide and let me know the number of small alphabets F in this paragraph. Have you understood what exercise we are going to do? You have to just count the number of small alphabets F in this paragraph and let me know how many small alphabets F's are there in this paragraph. Am I clear to all of you? So should we move again? Move forward? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Are you interested in this exercise, or I should directly switch over to Six Sigma?
Sir, in the chat box, we have written.
Okay. Actually, I had shared my screen. Oh, interesting. So, this chat box is visible to all of you now.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
you can see through that there is so much variability when you are counting the number of F's. So like that, we have the variability in any process. Whenever I talk about any process, so the variability is there. Why variability is there? Because say you take example of your manufacturing process, man, material, machine, method, all these variations are there. So these variations are reflected on your product. That's why to handle those variation, that's why you people are giving tolerances. This is the concept of tolerances, which is nothing but it is the reason of variability in the process. The beautiful thing is that we cannot stop the variability, but we can reduce the variations. Now, this exercise I had already done with some of my participants, and I have drawn this a curve, which is the normal curve. You must have heard about this, because this curve is a basic of statistics, and this curve is as good as basic of Six Sigma methodologies. So this was because of the process variability. Whenever we talk about process variability, there are two types of variations. One is chance variation, one is assignable variation. So we are working on the reducing the variations. This is what we are doing in Six Sigma methodologies, that we have to reduce the variations. This is nothing but this is our normal curve. So let's talk about Six Sigma. What we say in Six Sigma? Six Sigma is a process perfection. What is the meaning of process perfection? Whenever I talk about process perfection, it means you have high quality, you have reduced cost, you have good service. So whenever I talk about Six Sigma methodology, in other terms, Six Sigma methodologies talks about 3.4 DPMO. What that DPMO is? 3.4 defects per million opportunities. So if my process is so perfect that I am having the 3.4 defects in 10 millions, then we talk that my process is a Six Sigma process. So now the question comes, why I require so less defects? Why I require 3.4 defects in a process? It again depends upon the criticality of your product, criticality of your design. If you are talking about some equipment in operation theater, or you are talking about some equipment in aerospace design, or when we are talking about some equipment of ISRO, DRDO, all these are working on very high quality. So there they require the Six Sigma methodologies. If you talk about the number of times you are visiting a ATM और आपने 20,000 rupees withdraw करने हैं, how many times it happens that suppose you are withdrawing the 20 notes of 500 rupees, how many times it happens that कभी note कम हो गया, कभी note ज़्यादा हो गया. So there are some cases where we cannot afford to have variability, or we cannot afford to have the defects. So those are all our Six Sigma processes. Whenever I talk about any Six Sigma processes, I have to make my design, I have to make my quality, I have to make my processes so perfect that at the end of the day, they should not create a problem for me. So if I talk about Six Sigma in terms of these tolerances, then as a manufacturing engineer, you may understand that if you are working on half of your tolerance, it means you are working on a Six Sigma process. Half of tolerance means that if a customer has given you or designer has given you the tolerance of 0.01, then you design your product in such a way that it should come under 0.05. If I talk about the manufacturing of a shaft, if I have a shaft of 20 mm dia and my customer is asking for a tolerance of 0.1, and I am providing him the tolerance of 0.05. Actually, it rarely happens in manufacturing industry. We are striving hard to achieve customer expectations. But here we are already working on customer expectations. Rather, I would say we are working on customer delight. That's why I have shown this LSL and USL are lower specification limit and upper specification limit, which are provided by customer, whereas LCL and UCL is your manufacturing limit, or you can say your statistical limits, which you have derived in your shop floor. So that is the preciseness when we are working on Six Sigma processes. Now, what would happen? You can see in this blue histogram, blue normal curve, that if your process will deviate, then also it may deviate somewhere to left or somewhere to right, but it does not look like that it would cross the upper specification limit and lower specification limit. And the moment you are not crossing the upper specification limit and lower specification limit, you are within the design, you are within the specification, it means no defective product would be generated. So here they are considering that how, let it be the process variation, then only the process can be shifted somewhat. It would not create a defect. That is the basic philosophies the Japanese are working for. So it is just a basic introduction to Six Sigma, or you can say history of Six Sigma. It was developed in 1987, and it initiated from Motorola, and it was initiated by Bill Smith. And nowadays it is very famous, Six Sigma. Now we are working above the Six Sigma methodologies. So this is the important aspects of Six Sigma methodologies, that where we should use the Six Sigma methodologies. We should use the Six Sigma methodologies in the typical cases when the root cause of the problems are not known. And you should not always try for Six Sigma. Six Sigma, that process should be justified, because when you are working on when you are working for the perfect processes, excellent, your man, machine, material, method, everything should be excellent. So it is going to cost you. So it should be economical. I have just given you examples of DRDO, ISRO. In all those cases, the quality is first phase. There is nothing like economy. So here we are working on Six Sigma methodologies. If you are working for the, say, airlines, so when we are working for airlines and I wish to calculate that how many emergency landing and my plane has done. So emergency landing is a very, very severe issue. So these are on Six Sigma processes. But in the same airlines, if I talk about the baggage handling, then I need not work on baggage handling up to Six Sigma processes. If it is a Four Sigma processes, it will do. So this is just Six Sigma aspect in the word scenario. If we talk about traditional manufacturing organization, or if I talk about a traditional manufacturing organization in this Faridabad region, we are not even working on 1 Sigma or 2 Sigma. Forget about 3 Sigma, 4 Sigma, 5 Sigma, and 6 Sigma. Whenever we take example of Six Sigma in Indian context, there's a very, very beautiful example of Mumbai Dabbawalas. If you are aware of their case studies, they are phenomenal. They have their process errors 1 in 16 million. And the funny thing is that these all people are illiterate people. This is some history of Mumbai Dabbawalas. They started in 1980, and most of them are 8th passed, and their error rate is 1 in 16 million. Error rate means they are delivering dabbas from Mumbai's home to their offices. And it rarely happens that if I am leaving my home at 6 in the morning and I want lunch, my home cooked lunch in my office at 12 o'clock, then my tiffin would reach there without any mixing. They are delivering 2 lakhs tiffins per day. And if they are delivering 2 lakhs tiffins per day, it may be very much feasible that मेरा टिफिन किसी और को मिल गया, किसी और का टिफिन मुझे मिल गया, but it does not happens. Why it does not happens? It does not happens because their process is so perfect, and all the companies residing in the Mumbai and Pune region, they are working on their case study that how come it's possible that we have very good infrastructure, we have very educated engineers, we have Six Sigma team here, and then these people are more perfect in processes than ours. But this is the fact. You can go through YouTube and you can search this case study also there.
कपड़े ले लिया
So this was the just Six Sigma in our Indian scenario. Now let's understand what is Six Sigma methodology. Whenever we talk about Six Sigma, we have seen the significance of quality. We have seen the significance of defect reduction. Now, what is the strategies? What is the tools which are used in Six Sigma methodologies? These are very significant. There are 5 phases when we implement a Six Sigma project: define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. You may align these phases with the PDCA cycle also, but if you think it logically, to solve any problem, to solve any project, you need all these steps. If you have some problem, you have to firstly define the problem, then you have to measure the what is the intensity of problem, then you have to analyze the problem, that where interaction is there, what is the interaction between output and input, and then when you derive some solutions, you have to select one solution in improvement phase, and in control phase you have to see that the solution which I have implemented, it should not bounce back. So that is the control mechanism. So these stages are very significant. How these stages are completed? These stages are completed using some of significant tools. You may be aware of some of the tools. These are the various tools when I talk about a Six Sigma methodologies. The various tools are as per the DMAIC methodology. You can see first is define, then it is measure, then it is analyze, then it is improve, and then it is control. Total Six Sigma is bunch of all these tools. So in this short duration, I can just introduce you what is Six Sigma, what is Six Sigma metrics, what are key tools in Six Sigma. So if you get in details of all these tools, it may take further time. That we can talk about the process mapping, we can talk about the CPOC, we can talk about voice of customer, Pareto analysis. So this is just a methodology. It is a strategy in which various phases are there. And in every phase, these significant tools are there. So now what we do in industry, when we have some Six Sigma problem, then we are implementing all these tools to achieve the result, to solve the problems. Now the next question comes that when we are working on the Six Sigma projects or Six Sigma methodologies, what is the organizational structure? We have understood what is Six Sigma. We have understood what are the various phases of Six Sigma. We have just seen what are the tools in each and every phase of Six Sigma. Now let's see organizational structure of Six Sigma, or we can say that what are the key players of Six Sigma. These are the key players of Six Sigma. We call them champions, master black belts, or green belts. All these certifications are the certifications which these Six Sigma companies or Six Sigma consultancy companies are providing. So this is just a introduction that what is the meaning of a Six Sigma green belt. When a small project is there, it may be taken by a green belt. When a big project is there, and it includes a lot of statistical calculations, and you can say, depending upon the statistical calculations, you have to derive some decisions, you have to implement those decisions. So then black belt is going to help you, and above that is the master black belt. I have a just conceptual representation of if you are working on a problem in a institution, then how these organizational structure of key players, we can align it with your institution. So this basically which are working are the black belts. These black belt people are working on the problems. So this is just a overview of Six Sigma. Actually, it needs a series of lecture to cover this total strategy, that what is Six Sigma, that 3.4 DPMO, how they can be calculated. Then when we talk about Six Sigma, there are various significant things, that what is the process capability, what is the defect reduction rate, all these things. So it requires a series of lecture. So that's all from my side on introduction to Six Sigma. You can ask if you have some doubts. I'm just opening this basic slide of Six Sigma. This is the basic slide of Six Sigma. But again, it also requires a lot to understand what is CP, what is CPK, the concept of variability, the concept of process capability. So it is a long process. So it was just an introduction to Six Sigma. I would be delighted to answer if you have any queries related to Six Sigma or quality. I'm not sure that within this small slot of 50 minutes, how much I have covered and how much I have given justification to Six Sigma methodology, because it is a very, very broad topics. If you talk about Six Sigma tools, that introduction to Six Sigma tools may take a long time. This strategy, understanding the strategy may take some time. But I would love to answer if you are having any queries.
Hello, yeah, students, please ask questions. If you have any query, you can ask.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, beta.
Sir, who provide the certifications of green belt and black belt? Like, is there any organization as such governing body which provides the certification?
There is one certification body, which is American Society for Quality, or you can visit website, and if you write Six Sigma certifications, you may find a lot of organizations which are providing. But ASQ is somewhat visible, American Society of Quality. If you just search it on American Society of Quality, you will search that. Or there are so many other organizations. I have done my Six Sigma Black Belt course from Indian Statistical Institute, Delhi. It was long back. I think it was in 2008 or 9. So they have their sessions. You have to participate in those sessions. You have to clear their exams. So as far as Six Sigma is concerned, I feel it is it is a not only for engineers, but it is very relevant for a engineer, specifically for a mechanical engineer, because mechanical engineer are working on the quality concepts and all those things. So you can search on Google. ASQ is one there, and I have done it from Indian Statistical Institute. You can inquire there also, but there are so other bodies also. I hope I have answered your query.
Yes, sir. So one more doubt: where
Huh.
does that number 3.4 per million parts comes out from?
Good. See, if you will see carefully your Z tables ना, तो अगर आप Z टेबल में ध्यान से देखेंगे, किसी भी Z टेबल में जिसको आप लोग जब कंट्रोल चार्ट्स की प्रॉब्लम करते हैं, यू पीपल मे बी यूजिंग दैट टेबल्स, जब आप कंट्रोल चार्ट्स की प्रॉब्लम करते हैं, तो अगर आप उसी टेबल को ध्यान से देखेंगे, normally in tables it is defects are up to 3 sigma or 4 sigma, but if you analyze it in Six Sigma concern, that is 3.4, that is 3.4 defects per million. Means if I talk about 3.4, it is 3.4 in 1 lakh. If I talk about this Z table, then they are working on 3 sigma, और इसमें हम बात करते हैं defect in 1, इसमें हम बात करते हैं DPO की. तो आपने देखा होगा वो 0.0 कुछ उसमें वैल्यूज होती हैं Z टेबल में से. यू कैन कोरिलेट दैट. अगर उसमें आपको कैलकुलेट करके नहीं मिलता, देन यू मे कनेक्ट मी.
ओके सर,
ठीक है. यू जस्ट रेफर Z टेबल एक बार आप देखोगे ना, आपको समझ में आ जाएगा.
ओके सर.
नॉर्मली Z टेबल में 6 सिग्मा तक वैल्यू नहीं होती, उसमें जो वैल्यू रहती है वो 3 सिग्मा तक रहती है. बट अगर आप कोई ऐसी Z टेबल देखोगे जिसमें नॉर्मली जो बड़ी Z टेबल्स हैं उसमें 4 सिग्मा, 5 सिग्मा, 6 सिग्मा की वैल्यू दी होती है, तो अगर आप उससे कोरिलेट करोगे, ये वहां से प्रैक्टिकली कैलकुलेटेड अमाउंट है. ये जो 3.4 है, इट इज नॉट ए परसेप्शन, it is not a experimental, it is calculated from the Z table only, the value of 3.4 sigma.
थैंक्स सर.
हाँ, आई थिंक इन्होंने अभी तक ये पढ़ा नहीं है प्रोसेस कैपेबिलिटी या प्रोसेस वेरिएशन, हाँ, इसलिए इनको आइडिया नहीं है.
That's why.
हाँ, that's why they are not being able to correlate.
So that's why I was somewhat मतलब कंफ्यूज कि कहाँ से शुरू करूं, और that's why I have not taken that.
नहीं, आपने जो ओवरव्यू दिया वो इनके लिए फिलहाल सफिशिएंट है, आई थिंक सो.
Okay.
और फर्दर डेप्थ में ये अब जा पाएंगे फ्रॉम नेक्स्ट टाइम. तो
हाँ, you may connect me students with any time. आप राजीव साहा सर से मेरा नंबर और ईमेल आईडी ले लो. Being alumnus of YMCA, it is delighted to interact with all of you.
Yeah, sure. Thanks a lot. Actually में आपके सेशंस हम आगे फिर इन डेप्थ फिर करवाएंगे, ताकि अभी एक ओवरव्यू इनको मिल गया, देन फर्दर वी विल थिंक ऑफ कि आपके और सेशंस हम करवा दें जो इन डेप्थ में. एंड श्योर. सो थैंक्स अ लॉट फॉर providing this wonderful lecture. Right? So I think the students have enjoyed this and have understood a lot about Six Sigma. So again, I thank you again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for inviting me. It's always a pleasure and delight. I am delighted to interact with the YMCA students.
Okay then, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, beta. God bless you.